everyone. Welcome to Walks with Moss. It's a really dreary Saturday in January, and I'm tired, but I'm forcing myself to get out. Partly for Bella's sake. I just patched up my neoprene boots, and I'm really hoping they don't leak anymore. Let's find out. Check it out. Here's some clavulina we can harvest. And if we catch any fish, I guess we can have it with our fish. Yay! I'm glad there's still something we can pick out here, even in December. That's pretty awesome. There are still some traces of chanterelles out here, just kind of barely hanging on. Definitely not edible anymore. I think this is a hedgehog mushroom. Let's pull it up and see. Oh yeah! Awesome! How awesome! So this mushroom season just keeps on giving. Look at that. Very cool. I love hedgehogs. Yeah. All right. What an incredible mushroom season. And it's apparently not over yet. I think there's a hedgehog over here too. Yeah. Very cool. Bella, no, don't stomp on these. Stay back. Oh my gosh. She came so close to stomping all of these. How cool is that? Yeah! Very cool. Yeah, Bella, I know you don't care about mushrooms. You just want to hike. Says, what are we doing here? Why are we sitting around here? If you don't get moving, I'm going to stomp your mushrooms. Yeah, if you don't move, I'm going to stomp your mushrooms. Okay, we'll get going. We'll get going, buddy. Here we go. The water isn't very deep, but there's a current, so it's going to come up my boot. I patched up my boots with tent seam sealer, and I think it's going to work. Let's find out. I had to wait a couple of days for my boots to dry. Yeah, so far so good, but I haven't actually gone above the level where they normally start leaking, so I don't know. Let's go ahead and give them a good test. Let's go above the leak level. Let's see what happens. I think it worked. Oh no, wait. Oh gosh, just as soon as I said I thought it worked, a little bit of water started trickling in. Both lines are in. There's quite a bit of rain forecast today, so I'm going to go ahead and set up a tarp. I'll use this tree here and then a log over there and then the tips of this Douglas fir up here. Set up a little rain shelter for us for today. There we go. I think we've got a nice shelter set up for the day. I used a log on this end and that little tree on that end, and then some live Douglas fir branches overhanging there. And it's pretty tall. It's got a pretty good tilt to it. And I got my blanket here I can sit on. And I got my sit pads. Those go in my backpack in the back there. They serve a double purpose. And I think we're ready to sit here and have some PBJ and maybe some coffee and talk about the mushrooms we just found. We got the tarp up just in time. It's starting to rain. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to put the rods out first or put the tarp up first, but I put the rods out first and I got away with it because it did not start raining until after the tarp was already up, which is good. This is probably Hydnum washingtonium. Yeah. The Hydnums recently underwent a name change, and apparently a lot of them can only be distinguished by their microscopic properties. But the most common one is the Washingtonium, so I guess I'll just call everything that until I look under the microscope. So yeah, these are generally really delicious mushrooms. There's some Hydnums that are bitter, and maybe those are a different species. I always thought it was because when they got big they got bitter, but maybe not. Just getting these cleaned up a little bit for my bag. And then, let's see, that one, yeah, I don't think that one's a keeper. We'll just set it there for now though. And I'll read to you a little bit about these mushrooms. Hydnum washingtonium, the American hedgehog, is known only from North America. Earlier, the American hedgehog has been lumped with European and Asian species Hydnum repandum. Additionally, endemic Pacific Northwest and BC species remain to be described. So it could be one of those. Odor, fruity to indistinct when raw, nibble, taste, spit out, a bit acrid or bitter. Cap, 3 to 15 centimeters in diameter. The cap shape is initially rounded, sometimes creased or irregularly crumpled, flattening with age. The margin is rolled inwards towards the stem. The surface is a pale pinkish orange cream color, staining ochre when damaged. The matte surface is characteristic. The flesh is thick and white, but a bit brittle in the cap. White cap specimens occasionally occur as well. Spines. Hopefully that's in focus there. Densely set on the underside of the cap and the upper part of the stem. They are up to 1 centimeter long. Wow. Cream to pale apricot colored, and they break off easily. Stem 2 to 10 centimeters long by 1 to 4 centimeters wide, often widest just above the base. White, but staining ochre when damaged. The stem is solid and firm. Ring or veil none, cup none. Spores 8 to 9 by 6 to 7 microns. Smooth spores. Habitat on the ground in Sitka spruce and mixed conifer forests. Ectomycorrhizal. There we have it. This is one of my favorite mushrooms of all. It's just got a wonderful savory flavor, except when it's bitter. So I guess I'll do a nibble and spit here and see if this is going to be a bitter one. It's quite waterlogged, and I'm not tasting any bitterness. So yay! Even if we don't get fish tonight, we're going to have something to put in the pot from this trip. Here's the clavulina that I harvested here as well. I hope we catch a fish, but I just don't know what our odds are. I don't generally get a lot of trout in this month of the year, but we can hope. So the clavulina here I'm really interested in because apparently it goes until March, and it's one of the few mushrooms that has a compound in it that can help lower your cholesterol levels, or at least keep cholesterol from sticking to your arteries. And that's always a good thing, so I'm really on the lookout for clavulina this year. Yuck. I've got this fleece vest plus a hat and gloves and long underwear. So if I have to hike out of here in the rain, I'll just take my hoodie off because it's cotton, and I can hike out in this vest and I'll be fine. And Bella's got a nice raincoat on her. She should be fine today too. I want to go out and cast a little further out with my one rod, but I kind of hesitate to now that I realize I don't have my rain gear with me. Do I look suitably outdoorsy now? Got the requisite vest from hunting and fishing New Zealand too, and my camel gloves and my camel hat. And every time I start talking to the camera, Bella starts creeping up on me because she associates the camera with hiking. I think something happened on this line because suddenly it snagged, and it wouldn't have just snagged just sitting there unless maybe the current blew it around. Looks very much like I'm going to start out the day by having to re-rig my rod. Wow. Okay. Trying to keep my spirits up here, but it's getting trickier by the minute. No raincoat. Immediately lost my gear. And now I've got a pretty nasty knot in my braid too, which I may or may not be able to get untangled without cutting off a whole bunch of line. We'll see. No time to re-rig this rod because my other rod suddenly has no tension on it either. Hopefully this is a fish though and not a snag. Huh. Yeah, it's a fish. Oh, it's a big one too. I need to loosen the drag. Oh boy. Oh boy. This feels... I don't know what's going on here actually now. Maybe it's not a fish. I don't know what's going on. Oh, and I think my reel's doing that thing where it spins freely backwards. Okay. Oh gosh, I don't think it is a fish. I thought I felt a jerk there. But no. Well, that is so weird. I've never had this happen here before where both of my lines just immediately snag up. Oh, oh, I think there is a fish. Yeah, there is a fish. And I think it's a big one too. Or not. Let's see. We got a fish on though. Or we had a fish? No, we got a fish. Oh, we've got a fish. And it's not quite as big as I thought. That snag kind of tricked me. But we most definitely have a fish. All right, we're not getting skunked today. My dad doesn't have to stop watching my videos. Yay! Since the fish are in right now, I am not going to mess around with this knot. I just cut it right off, and I'm not going to lose too much line. So, yeah, I want to get this back in as quickly as possible. I've got my usual setup today. Got my egg sinker here that can slip up and down the line, and a swivel. I'm using slightly heavy or leader than usual though, because I'm sick of losing everything on snags. I got 12-pound leader today, maybe overkill. Got a barbed hook. I should try to pinch the barb off of that. I like these red hooks because they come already really sharp, and I have trouble sharpening my hooks. And then we got a spawn sack with a little power dough in it. Let's get this back out there. I didn't feel like preparing an elaborate meal today, so we got peanut butter and jelly. And the jelly is my homemade huckleberry jam. I made quite a bit of it. It was such a good year for huckleberries this year. Now Bella's whining. I think she wants some of my sandwich, but she's got her dog food, and this is my only lunch, so she's not getting a lot of this today. The raindrops are making it really hard to see if I've got a fish on because they're hitting my line and bouncing it around. Wow, Bella, you are so keen. I have a feeling, I don't think Bella can see very well. Back up a little bit. Here, it's right here. It's in my hand. Look, because she's just not good at catching, even when she really wants to catch. I just suspect Bella doesn't see that well. Gonna settle down and take a nap right there? That sounds good. I really wish you'd stay off my blanket with your horrible muddy feet. We've got a bite. We've got a bite. All right. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Wow. We got a snag too. And a bite. What is going on here today? All right. I guess I loosened the drag too much. Hopefully it's still on. Yeah, I just loosened the drag too much because it was pulling so hard I was afraid of it breaking off. Okay, come on in. I think I'm reeling in. I'm not entirely sure. Wow, today is a bit of a struggle. Yeah, I got one on, but I got to keep my drag loose, I think, because it's fighting, and this is a pretty lightweight rod. Here we go. We got one on. We got a fish on. Loosen up the drag a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. You run with it. You run with it if you need to. Just don't break off. All right. Wow, there's not a whole lot of line on this reel. Hope we don't come to the end of the line. Wow. My arm's getting sore, and it doesn't normally get sore here. Oh. Come on. Come on in. I don't know. I think I got a snag again. I think it's a snag fish. Darn it. This is aggravating because this... Yeah, we're snagged. This doesn't normally happen here. This is not Snag Lake. I'm not supposed to get snagged every time I catch a fish here. What is going on? Oh, come on. Am I going to have to break off again? I think I am. Darn it. I still think there's a fish on there too, though. So, yeah, there's definitely still a fish on there. So maybe just give the fish a chance to unsnag itself? Yeah, there's definitely still a fish on here. Huh. Come on, fish, unsnag yourself. While I get soaking wet waiting. Lost that one too. What on earth is going on? This never happens here. And I think that fish is probably still on the end of my line, but I can't stand around all day in this rain waiting for it to unsnag. I got to get back to my shelter. I'm going to re-rig this one again, but I'm definitely going to cast in a slightly different spot this next time. All right, I put my line out in a slightly different spot, and wow, I found the downfall of this little reel my dad got me on Temu. It just doesn't hold much line. I'm at the end of the line on this reel now, and I'm trying to put some slack in the line, but struggling because I'm pretty much out of line. Almost feels like I got a bite. Okay, leave that one there, and then hopefully if I get a bite on that one, I don't get a snag because it's in a totally different spot. This is beyond frustrating because I'd probably have 3 fish now if not for those snags. Oh well, at least I got one. Okay, getting some movement over here on this line. The one I just put in a different spot. Don't know if there's a fish on, but there was definitely some movement happening here. Come on. Come on, take it, take it, take it. There we go. Is it on? Yeah! Fish on! Fish on! Woohoo! Fish on! And I think we did right to move to a different spot. Get away from the snags. Okay, it's kind of a little one for here, but we'll definitely take it. All right, number 2, and I'll definitely cast again to the same spot. There is definitely something out just offshore that was not there before. Maybe something floated in, or maybe somebody threw something out there. I was just reeling this line in, and it caught on something super close to shore. It's been about a half an hour since our last fish. The rain is coming down harder, and because it's below 60 degrees freedom units, the GoPro isn't working properly because I guess it wasn't designed to be used outdoor. I don't know. So if I catch any more fish, I might not be able to record it because the GoPro isn't working. The cell phone's working fine, of course. It will work fine when it's 60 degrees. It's just the GoPro that can't do that. I'm not dressed properly, and it's cold, so I don't think we're going to stay too much longer. We got 2 fish, maybe have one for dinner and put one in the smoker. Put both of them in the smoker and have them both for dinner. Why not? You deserve it, Bella, my best fishing buddy. You deserve some smoked fish for dinner tonight, I think. Yeah, I'm going to pack up and get out of here. If I had dressed a little warmer, if I'd remembered to bring the right gear, I could have stayed here quite a bit longer, but I'm starting to get cold, so there we go. 2 decent fish, and we got some hedgehog mushrooms and some clavulina. We'll have a nice dinner tonight. Yes, we will. Okay, got the tarp down, and we are out of here. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Look at those poor soaking wet deer. And they don't get to go home where it's warm and dry like we do. Hey there, I hope you can stay warm.